Alright. Let's set the stage for tonight, folks. Nationwide Arena, the battleground. Detroit Red Wings, Columbus Blue Jackets. Two teams, one puck, and a whole lot of bad blood waiting to spill on the ice. Detroit's riding a little high right now, fresh off a 4-2 win over Pittsburgh. But let me tell you something about the Red Wings. This team isn't exactly built to light up the scoreboard. Averaging just 2.62 goals per game. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. And on the road, 2 straight losses and barely any firepower. 8 goals in their last 3 road trips, 6 of those came in one game. Consistency, not their strong suit. Now let's talk about Columbus. Averaging 3.29 goals per game, which makes you think they're packing heat. But don't get fooled by the stats. This team's been a defensive disaster, ranked 31st in goals allowed. But they've tightened up at home lately. 9 goals allowed in their last 3 home games. Better, sure, perfect, not quite. And then there's the netminders. Alex Leon for Detroit, Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus. Leon had a .920 save percentage against Pittsburgh. That's solid. Merzlikins, he's a roller coaster. 1 minute, he's standing on his head. The next, he's letting soft ones trickle through. Unpredictable, but fascinating. Alright, let's talk trends. Detroit's offense on the road has been colder than a Midwestern January. Columbus, though, they've been playing with more structure at home. And get this, it's their first meeting this season. That's like the opening act of a Tarantino flick. Everyone's feeling each other out, waiting for someone to make the first move. Special teams. Columbus has a 21% power play. Detroit's penalty kill is, let's call it, challenged. But the Red Wings have a solid power play at 24%. If the refs keep the whistles in their pockets, special teams might not even matter. This game will come down to grit. Now, the elephant in the room, defensive struggles. Both teams are ranked near the bottom of the league in goals allowed. But here's the thing about hockey, it's a game of variance. Weak defenses don't always mean high-scoring games. Sometimes it's the grind-it-out affairs that sneak under the total. Alright, you've waited long enough. Here's the moment of truth. Today's AI pick is the under 6.5 goals. Why the under? It's about the flow, the tempo, the psychology of two teams trying to outsmart each other. Every shot, every save, it all matters. In a game like this, discipline beats chaos every time. So, are we calling it right? Or are you rolling the dice the other way? Either way, the story's just begun. On to Game 2.
Good evening, my friends. Tonight, we're diving into the bright lights of Madison Square Garden for a classic rivalry matchup between the Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers. Two teams, each with their own narratives, but only one can emerge victorious. Let's start with Boston. The Bruins are on the hunt, sitting just 4 points out of first place in the Atlantic Division. They've been steady, posting a 5-2-1 record in their last 8 games. But here's the kicker: this team is offensively challenged. Averaging only 2.6 goals per game, they're ranked 28th in the league. That's not the kind of firepower you want in a high-stakes road game. And while their defense has been sharp, conceding just 11 goals in their last 5 games, can they keep that momentum against a desperate Rangers squad? Now, about those Rangers. Yes, they're in a slump, losing 4 straight in 8 of their last 10 games. But here's where things get interesting. The Rangers are back at home, and desperate teams often play their best hockey when their backs are against the wall. Artemi Panarin has been a force, racking up 39 points on the season and staying consistent with 10 points in his last 10 games. Adam Fox is anchoring the blue line with 28 points while averaging 25 minutes of ice time. And let's not forget Vincent Trocheck, who's quietly been productive with 5 points in his last 5 games. Yes, Igor Shesterkin is out, and that's a blow. But backup Jonathan Quick has been solid. A 2.69 GAA and a 0.908 save percentage aren't numbers to scoff at. In fact, Quick's steady play could be exactly what the Rangers need to stabilize their defense and get back in the win column. Let's talk trends. Boston might be playing well defensively, but they've struggled to score on the road. The Rangers. They've dropped 5 straight at home, but every streak has to end somewhere. This is the first time these teams are meeting this season, and the Rangers swept all 3 games last year. That kind of history matters. It builds confidence, even in tough times. Now, let's look at the psychology of the moment. Boston is comfortable, sitting in a good position in the standings. But the Rangers are hungry. They've made lineup changes, moved their captain, and are desperate to turn things around. Desperation has a way of creating opportunities. Combine that with the energy of Madison Square Garden, and you've got a recipe for an upset. So, after weighing the stats, the trends, and the intangibles, today's AI pick is the New York Rangers Moneyline. The Rangers are playing for pride, for redemption, and for their fans. This isn't just another game, it's a chance to right the ship. What do you think, my friends? Is tonight the night the Rangers end their skid? Share your thoughts, and as always, stay tuned. On to Game 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we head to the Emerald City, where the Vancouver Canucks and the Seattle Kraken will face off in what promises to be a showdown of grit, goals, and glory. Let's break this down and make the case for the Canucks moneyline at 105 first. Let's talk offense. The Canucks have been one of the more consistent scoring teams this season, averaging 3.11 goals per game. Over their last 4 games, they've poured in 13 goals. That's a team firing on all cylinders offensively. Elias Pettersson, Connor Garland, and Jake DeBrusk have led the way with a combined 35 goals and 48 assists. Add in the contributions from Brock Boeser, JT Miller, and Quinn Hughes, and you have an offensive unit that's both deep and dynamic. Now compare that to the Kraken. Seattle's offense has been a one-line show, averaging only 2.89 goals per game. Jared McCann, Oliver Bjorkstrand, and Jaden Schwartz have been productive, but the rest of the lineup has struggled to find the back of the net. Opponents know how to limit this top-heavy attack, and that's where the Canucks have the edge. Their defense, led by Quinn Hughes and Tyler Myers, may not be perfect, but it's competent enough to neutralize a predictable offensive scheme. Let's talk goaltending. Kevin Lankinen has been solid between the pipes for Vancouver, boasting a 0.908 save percentage and a 2.58 goals against average. He's also saved 5.5 goals above average this season, showing he's more than capable of handling high-pressure situations. On the other side, Joey Daccord has been a bright spot for the Kraken, but his 0.912 save percentage and 2.51 GA won't be enough to carry a struggling Seattle team if their offense falters. Here's the kicker: the Canucks have the offensive depth, the better recent form, and an edge in goaltending consistency. Yes, Seattle is on home ice, but the Canucks have the firepower and the momentum to silence the crowd and take control early. And don't forget the odds. At 105, you're getting value on a Canucks team that has the tools to outmatch the Kraken in nearly every facet of the game. This is the kind of bet that sharp bettors look for: a slight underdog with legitimate advantages. So, tonight's AI pick is the Vancouver Canucks moneyline at 105. The Canucks have the scoring depth, the goaltending, and the hunger to make this their game. Do you see the same opportunity we do? Let's hear your thoughts. And now, on to Game 4.
Ah, my dear friends, gather round, because tonight's tale takes us to the heart of Long Island, where the New York Islanders are set to clash with the mighty Toronto Maple Leafs. On paper, you might think the Leafs have this in the bag, but let me tell you, there's something brewing under the surface at UBS Arena, and it smells like an upset. Let's start with the Islanders. Sure, they've had a rough patch. 3 losses in their last 4 games. But that's precisely why tonight's game matters so much. This isn't just another matchup. It's a fight for pride, for redemption, for a spark to reignite their season. Anders Lee, Bo Horvat, and Kyle Palmieri? These are warriors with something to prove. Anders Lee's 30 points aren't just numbers. They're a testament to a captain's grit and determination. And let's not forget about the man between the pipes. Ilya Sorokin may not have his best stats this season, but you know what they say about talent. It doesn't disappear overnight. This is the game for Sorokin to rise. Toronto's got Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and John Tavares, sure. But you know what happens when you rely on star power? Sometimes the stars don't align. And that's where the Islanders can strike. Toronto's been solid, no doubt. They're averaging 3.11 goals per game, and Joseph Woll has been a revelation in net. But let's talk pressure. The Maple Leafs are tied for first in the Atlantic Division, and every game carries the weight of expectations. Expectations can be heavy. The Islanders, on the other hand, have nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, and that makes them dangerous. Here's the kicker. The Leafs may have won the last game, but this is the second leg of a home-and-home. The Islanders are back on their turf, where the crowd will be roaring, the energy electric, and the memories of that last loss fresh in their minds. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and it's freezing tonight on Long Island. And let's talk value, my friends. The Islanders at pun 100 on the money line? That's not just value. That's a gift wrapped in blue and orange. The odds makers see what you see, a struggling team. But what they're missing is the hunger, the desperation, and the home ice advantage. So tonight, the AI pick is the New York Islanders money line at pun 100. This isn't just a bet. It's a belief in the underdog, in the fight, in the moment. Will you join the Islanders in their quest to shock the hockey world? Let's find out together. Onward to Game 5.
Good evening, my friends. Tonight, we turn our eyes to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, where the Philadelphia Flyers take on the reigning champs, the Vegas Golden Knights. The odds makers have made Vegas a heavy favorite, but let's not dismiss the Flyers just yet. Here's why the plus 1.5 on the puck line might be the sharp play. The Flyers are coming off a 4-0 win over the Sharks, showing offensive depth and resilience. Travis Konechny leads with 17 goals and 25 assists, and they've won 3 of their last 5 games. Yes, their defense allows 3.53 goals per game, but they rarely get blown out. Even in tough losses, they keep it close. Vegas is elite, scoring 3.51 goals per game and ranking 7th in goals allowed. But they're not perfect. Just look at their 3-2 loss to Montreal after blowing a 2-goal lead. If the Flyers turn this into a gritty battle, they can stay within striking distance. The Flyers at plus 1.5 on the puck line offers value. Even if Vegas wins, a single goal game cashes your ticket. Their tenacity makes this an enticing option. So, after crunching the numbers, today's AI pick is Philadelphia Flyers plus 1.5 on the puck line. Now, let's recap the night so far. We started with the under 6.5 goals in the Red Wings vs Blue Jackets matchup, then backed the Rangers moneyline, followed by the Canucks to take care of business, and now we've got the Flyers to keep it close against Vegas. What's your call? Share your thoughts, and as always, stay tuned. See you in the next video.